Happy
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find.
Hey, so
Wow,
congratulations. We made it through another year. A lot of folks said it was a challenging year in real estate, but I am proud of my team here because not only did we do well last year, thanks to our clients and the people that know and trust us, but we actually did better last year.
We did.
Than we did in 2022. So congratulations, guys. Oh, golf clap. Golf clap. All right, so we got a lot of good stuff to cover today, so I will jump in with stats. So first week of January 2024, I mean, we know inventory is going to be low, but I was really surprised. In Santa Clara County, we only have 269.
We're up 19.
269 single-family homes for sale and 197 condos and townhomes.
That's crazy.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so if you are a seller thinking about selling, what advice would you give them? When should I put my home on the market?
Now.
As soon as possible.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine 260 homes throughout the entire county for sale? So if I had a home in Morgan Hill that I needed to sell, I get on the market right away. Any of those challenging homes, maybe on a busy street
Get it on the market.
intersection, get it
on the market
before you get competition, because I do believe we will see. Obviously, inventory numbers are going to go up, between now and June, and so definitely, I've got one coming on next week, and I think it's perfect time to list.
You know what I love about this? We just went over the team numbers, like the coming soon listings and everything. I think we got like 22, which represents almost 10% of the market right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I mean, speaking of off-market listings, if you look on the MLS, I mean, some of my clients who have been waiting for homes to start picking up, inventory to start rising. I mean, you look at their search parameters that we have, and they are only seeing 4 homes active, and I'm seeing 14 other off-market homes.
That's a great point, right? And what
like,
David just said, that's the entire county.
Yeah.
If somebody's just looking at LG or Campbell,
we do have about 120 off-market properties between. I'm sorry, 220 off-market single-family and condo townhome properties. So if you can't find what you're looking for right now, reach out to us, and we probably have something in our back pocket.
And then you had a great December. Would you say that you represented quite a few buyers? Would you say that people were having to settle this time of year? Were you getting them good deals? Tell us.
So I think it was a matter of creating urgency, right? A lot of my clients were having some life events.
Right.
They needed to move. They, had some leases expiring, or were having babies, or some sort of life event that made them want to move fast. So they were asking me, when should I move, right? And I was like, right now, if you're seeing something that you're liking, there's never been a better time to time the market, right? It's not going to be a better time next year than December, right? I think this year there'll be a lot of opportunities in many pockets, but then in December the rates were still pretty high and the prices were low. There was low competition, but also low number of inventory. So not a lot of options.
Do you recall what the interest rates were that some of your clients were getting?
They were getting 6.75.
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, 60, 90 days ago, we were running over sevens.
This is the ninth week in a row that rates are down.
Yeah.
We're hovering right around 6.61 according to the Mercury
That's all right.
News.
That's all right.
Considering we're at what, 8%?
7.5 to 8 in some areas. Yeah.
Which again, for first-time home buyers, I think is that's the scare. But for people who bought homes 10 years ago, I don't think this interest rate. I think those people are more on the line of let's just see what happens. I don't think they're scared of the interest rate. They're just trying to figure out where they're going to be at in life here in the future.
Well, it takes those individuals, like Jeet just said. Most of them were life events, right? I mean, if you're in a situation where you need to put a roof over your head, you're going to buy it.
Exactly.
Right?
So I found a couple of off-market deals. So from like the members only coming soon, or like our agent network. So some of my clients were specific as to where they wanted to buy, like South San Jose. So I networked with a few agents and found out what they had coming soon. They were going to list in February, but I could get them in December and get a rent back situation going. So although they logged in a very high rate, by the time they close, they would already be in a position where they could refinance, right? So so that's why I would say a lot of our December buyers were pretty smart buyers, right?
Were most of those offers going through limited or no loan contingencies? And you said you had to offer up some rent backs as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of sellers are moving to Texas or moving out of state somewhere, so they needed time to move. So we were like, okay, we'll give you a non-contingent offer. They had all the inspections and everything up front. Just the home wasn't painted, staged, and then my client's like, I'd be happy to do that, right? I want to choose my paint, I want to choose my finishes. So a lot of the deals we did had some sort of rent back situation.
Good job.
A few scares with a few sellers that may have not been moving out by the time they promised to, especially with the holidays and everything, getting movers scheduled and everything was difficult. So a few quarter scares, but everything went pretty well.
Yep. Oh, good to know.
Good job.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think just hearing you on the phone, you did a really good job of being aggressive, but building good rapport with the agent to ultimately come together and get it done. So if you were talking to a potential seller, you would say, put your house on the market right now. There's buyers out there.
Absolutely. I think a lot of my clients that, although I got a good amount of clients into contract in December, a common theme was, hey, let's start again mid-Jan, early next year. This year we couldn't make it, or like I'm out for the holidays, or let's just start next year fresh with an open mind and see what's out there, and let's get aggressive mid-Jan. So I think this month and by the middle of it or so, we'll see a lot more demand coming in just from my small sample size.
Good stuff. Well, since it is a new year, there's always new laws that come into effect. I have a couple of fun ones to talk about. Fast food industry in our area now, minimum wage $20 an hour. It's still not enough to buy a house, but $20 an hour plus tips, not bad.
So Sarah talked to her friend who owns McDonald's, and they said in order to be profitable on a Big Mac meal, it's going to have to be almost $20.
So, I'm glad I was running some numbers. I had some other buddies that were talking about small businesses and the fast food restaurant stuff. And you look at like $1, because I think one of the increases was like $1 an hour, right? But here, you went from minimum wage to $20 an hour. Where if they worked at In-N-Out, I think is paying 22 or 23, Ben, if you ever need a fallback career.
Yeah.
But
that's good. Yeah, absolutely. With the way my life is going, my fallback career is going to have to be golf.
Yeah, there you go.
With the amount of money spent on that.
No, but we were running through these numbers, and if you have like a 25 employee crew, right, to run like a McDonald's or something, and if it's a dollar increase, right, you're basically running $500 more in expenses per day. $15,000 a month. So I know when people say, "Oh, it's only $1," and I get it. I mean, I truly do. Hey, how the hell is anybody living here at $30 an hour, much less minimum wage or anything? But we've got to keep businesses in business to be profitable. That's what they are, right?
Well, yeah, so, and it's just going to end up getting passed on to the consumer. Well,
to your point, right? I've heard where it's like you go and get a hamburger now, or go to KFC, whatever, and you're spending $20. Where it used to be $4.99.
Yeah, Ben and I went to Taco Bell the other day, and it was $40.
Yeah, I was in Vegas for that softball tournament a couple weeks ago when we were sitting next to a team that was from Virginia eating a burger at the hotel, and they're like, wow, I can't believe I'm paying $26 for a hamburger.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you would never be able to handle Double D's in Las Vegas.
Shout out Double D's. Great food. Great food.
All right.
But yeah.
Next thing that, near and dear to my heart, growing up in San Jose, being born and raised here, it is now legal to cruise again. So back in the day, we used to cruise East Santa Clara, El Camino,
baby.
So cruising is no longer illegal. So
wait, what is that again? Like when you just drive?
What is
that? So you're not the only one that's wondering what that is.
Yeah. So you get a group of, just say you drive a Porsche or an Audi. I mean, back in the day, it was usually like Impalas and El Caminos and things like that. But you could get all your buddies, friends together and just cruise up and down the streets of San Jose.
That was illegal?
It's been illegal for a long time now. And it's also now it's also legal. See, before, if your rim was a certain, if your car was a certain length to the ground, too low, it wasn't legal to drive, and so that they repealed that as well. So now you can drive your Slam.
Low riders unite. El Camino, here we come.
That's a big part of my adolescence, man. So happy for that.
So you're gonna cruise?
I might cruise.
Are the bikers still cruising?
I don't know about the bikers.
Those cruise parties are.
Like a bike party?
You ever seen those?
Yeah,
it's like hundreds of them
wild.
that come past you.
Yeah. The other thing is if police officers can no longer pull you over just because your tags are expired. right? So they're and actually, state of California. This is really interesting. And
Well, don't they have to identify the actual reason why they pulled you?
yeah,
over,
so
right?
this is actually a great one. So this is a state law. So cop pulls you over. First thing he asks is, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Right? Because they want you to tell on yourself. They can no longer do that. When they pull you over, they have to tell you the reason why they stopped you. And so I think it's a good thing.
I heard cops.
So you're too late for me.
I heard police officers are now the state bill passed where police officers and firefighters are allowed to smoke marijuana recreationally and allowed to go back to work the next day.
Well, they've also changed the laws about marijuana use. So employers can no longer use hair or urine samples as a prerequisite.
And they can't ask the question either.
Yeah. So there you go, Ben.
So the next time a cop pulls me over, I'm going to ask him a question.
Wow.
All righty.
Yeah.
Do you support local law
I was just going to say,
enforcement?
shout out to our local police officers.
100%.
That have a really hard job. The other nice thing is it's going to be harder for Cadillac converter thieves, which I know firsthand because they tried to steal mine. It's going to make it harder for them to sell them. So, for instance, the recyclers can't take them if the VIN number scratched off, and they have to show ID and things like that. So,
You know what I saw, since we're on this topic?
Yeah.
I saw that San Jose was one of the cities that they are going to try to pass a speed cameras on highways.
So glad you brought that up. San Jose is getting speed cameras. There was 5 cities in the state that are part of that pilot program. They say that they're currently only going to put them in places like school zones or places where they do sideshows and drag racing and things like that. But hey, I'm all for it.
They got 33 cameras in San Jose.
Oh, it did go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
a
the
test.
cutoff?
It's a
10
test.
10
what
miles
happens?
per hour over?
I don't know.
They send it to you in the mail?
Yeah.
Your ticket?
They read the plate.
But it'll
send
be a
you the ticket.
beta thing where I'm sure
It's like a carpool lane. Register your license plate.
I
and-
wonder if we
be.
can find the map of the 33 cameras just for Aaron.
So how about, do you see any changes in housing element issues?
Element issues. What is that exactly?
Yeah. Well, there's, obviously, if you are an investor or a landlord, it is harder yet again. There's more and more tenant rights.
Well, so what I mean by that is the affordable housing and how many units that. So I was at the town council meeting the other day for Los Gatos, and the town of Los Gatos has had their housing element shot down 4 different times because they were being too conservative. Where other towns like Campbell are saying Campbell doubled the amount of properties that they needed to give. So of course the state was like, yeah, go for it,
Yeah.
But it's gonna be really interesting, and it was funny to see, or it was interesting to see a lot of the citizens of Los Gatos. And I understand everybody wants to keep a nice, quiet town, whatever it is, but you can't stop progress. You
Right.
can't. And when you stand in the way of these laws that are coming in, you're just not going to be able to win that. It's going to make it worse on yourself. So the town of Los Gatos by 2031 needs 1,993 homes.
Homes or
Homes,
condos?
units,
Well, units.
could be condos, the whole thing, right? And because the town has delayed and been so conservative on the on their application, basically for the housing element not being approved, now the state is just like, screw you. I mean, sorry everybody, but I mean that's the hard fact of it. So now you've got about 10 projects in the town of Los Gatos that are under Builder's Remedy
Builder's
right
Remedy,
now
yeah.
that are almost getting approved. I mean, I know we talked about the post office. I was always under the impression, the post office, they're just making it big to then bring it down, once it has approval. 7 stories tall.
What?
7 stories tall. What? Post office downtown
That's
Los
great.
Gatos.
They should.
Yeah, well.
Hey,
yeah,
I have a serious question. Are they going to fill
Los
in
Gatos
Vasona?
Lodge,
Are they going to fill in
300.
Vasona Lake?
Yes, every time.
Yes.
New housing coming soon.
That's never funny.
joke's over.
But I'm glad you
Never
guys all
funny.
laughed.
Anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how all these communities start dealing with the housing elements, and that's where
Yeah.
the ADUs and all these other things come forward.
Yep. So we work down the street from a very large development, right?
North 40,
Yeah,
yep.
North 40. I think it's cute, whatever. It has not increased traffic or really hurt traffic
Well, one, it's
flow
not,
or impeded
it's,
us in any
it's
way.
not fully built out, and they did require them to expand the lanes there and everything, right?
I mean, I think
So-
it was good.
well, we haven't seen the full effect
So
of
far,
it
it's
yet,
good.
right?
You don't think so? Why are you so hesitant?
I mean, for one, I think it looks like a Tetris building. Sorry, North 40. I mean,
What
but
would
that's
you
the
have
new
liked
construction
to see
now.
style-wise? Like more downtown-esque?
Now, listen, I'm not opposed to new construction and big developments and everything. And I think they did a good job with traffic mitigation with widening the lanes. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Would I be a buyer? Sure. No, I wouldn't be a buyer. I'm sorry, I wouldn't.
Well, but it's not your thing.
It's not my thing.
Right?
It's not
So
my thing.
you are the sole person in charge of putting 1,900 units or doors or houses in Los Gatos. Where are you going to put them?
For one, I am going to embrace the small builder.
The
builder who can go in and take 2 to 4 houses down. Yes, it's a longer process to do so, but they need to open up those doors, because what's happening by not opening up those doors or making it more challenging on a small builder who doesn't have the money to kind of go to deal with the delays and the time expenses and everything else. Now you're having the big players come in and they're saying, fine, we're going to go buy Los Gatos Lodge and we're going to put 500 homes there. And you can't say anything about it because the state of California is going to tell you to get out of my way.
So you think doing it that way would help keep the town more cute, quaint?
I do, absolutely.
I
I'd
agree.
rather
Way
take
better.
a half an acre lot on Shannon and put 2 homes there, or maybe 3 homes there, than but that's just a longer plan. The problem is now they're so far behind the 8 ball.
Well, yeah, they have 6 years.
They have
right?
6 years.
But if you do it that way, you're also helping keep the housing prices higher.
So what happens if Los Gatos doesn't put
Right.
1,900 homes?
Well, I think you're keeping it standard.
Like North
I mean,
40 is more entry level, wouldn't you say?
well, yeah, they're townhomes. You're not going to put a townhome on.
Correct. But if you kept single families, you're for a new construction, $3, $4, $5 million bucks.
I'm saying it should be a combination.
Yeah, I
it
think
shouldn't
that's-
just be.
I didn't even
one
think
side.
about it. I like that.
Yeah,
What happens if they don't?
they lose federal funding, state funding. So state.
Do some cities or towns just say whatever?
No, they can't
No,
afford to.
they're all trying to.
Oh,
Yeah, they can't afford to. Campbell's the only one right now that's in compliance.
Yeah, San Jose is not.
okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So where do we think inventory is going to go? Aaron, would you like to make
Predictions?
June? Where are we at in
What
June?
did I say?
I think you
1,800.
said 16 or 18. Yeah.
Well, I think it will remain low. I think it will hover at the highest at 1,138 houses.
And condos or just houses?
Just single family homes.
Just single family homes.
Single family, right?
Don't look at me.
The last time I was so confident, and you're like, oh,
That was a year ago. A year ago today, you were making
Yeah.
that prediction.
What a ridiculous.
And now we're even lower than we were last year.
But I do think that the housing market as a whole, Santa Clara County, I think is going to go up by 15%.
Of what we did last year. I agree with that.
Purchase price.
15% in purchase price by the end of this year.
Yeah,
Really?
And I'm with.
I thought David was bonkers for buying the house that he bought at the price that he did, and now hindsight, it looks like one hell of a deal because
Probably,
I haven't seen anything that size, that lot,
Yeah.
and that whole neighborhood, especially South San Jose. We had a lot of buyers all together in South San Jose.
Yeah.
People are willing to take that commute because the schools are good and it's quaint, it's quiet.
Yeah.
That's true.
15%. That's my.
All right.
Do
Well,
we know? Do we know what the inventory was this time last year?
It was about 450.
So twice the amount.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I too think we'll max out between 1,100 and 1,200 homes between June and July.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Sure.
The vacancy rate in downtown San Jose office building.
Oh, don't even
27%.
No, that's throughout the county.
Oh, okay.
Even worse, because I was going to
Downtown
say
San
that one,
Jose.
and then I dug into it. 35.7%.
Yep.
Do you think that they're going to have to convert some of these, or what's the play here?
So what typically I've seen in the past, and Mark can chime in too, these building owners have so much money they can just let it sit vacant.
It's all good.
It's all good.
I wouldn't say all of them.
Not all of them. I said a lot.
Yeah, a lot of them do, and the whole challenge with that is they want to keep the value of the building up.
Exactly.
Right. So they'd rather have it sit vacant than start dropping their prices on it, because then their valuation and all their appraisals and all that stuff goes south. It's going to be really interesting because this is going to be a long-term issue. David and I are stepping into some pretty big commercial portfolios that we're taking over, and of course they're mostly office, and we're seeing some big vacancies coming up. We see a lot of people wanting to downsize, so it'll be really interesting to see. Like Google apparently has a big delay now. Are they really going to go do their marketplace and the whole thing downtown San Jose?
They're going to reevaluate, I see.
Reevaluate, exactly. You got San Francisco. So San Francisco, if they can get out of their own way, could be creative of converting some of the office space to housing. So you might see some of that potentially, but office is going to be a very challenging thing in today's world.
So you said something.
What's that?
I want to make sure I don't get it wrong, so my phone's out. Jacob has brought to something to our attention in San Francisco that he would like me to share.
All right.
Sure.
There was a fourplex in San Francisco, 190 Collins Street, sold pre-pandemic for $2.6 million. Each unit was rented for $2,700. Okay. They're all the same. They're right around 800 square feet.
Okay.
It just resold at auction for $1.8 million.
Yeah.
At auction.
Yeah, you're going to see more.
The cap rate
Yeah.
was 5.5%.
Yep.
And each property was fully rented.
And just for like the listeners, auction means that the person who previously bought it for 2.6 cannot afford that mortgage
They
or
went
pay
through
for
foreclosure. They walked and went to for bank
That's a
auction.
huge.
You know, that's the big dichotomy that we're stepping into right now, right? I mean, you talk about 250 homes on the market, and that single-family home market's still going to go crazy. You just said 15% increase this year with single-family homes, and yet on the flip side, we've got some cities that are dying. I mean, in their real estate value, I mean, completely. I mean, San Francisco's down. I think it's down about 20% with their townhome condos. I mean, there's a perfect example for multi-res. The financing side of it on multi-res is horrific and commercial and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how this. I mean, while I feel very confident going into this year, it's going to be interesting for different players.
The generic feel that I have is if anything has a backyard, it's held its value. It could be a townhouse with a backyard. It's held its value much better than like a condo, per se, in the city.
In the city.
itself,
Yeah, the city.
Okay, sure. Yeah, people want their
Like
space.
people are
And
still
parking.
spending $15 million in Pacific
And if
Heights.
it's got its own garage, if it's
Yeah.
got even a one-car
parking's
garage,
huge,
right?
yeah.
Parking's definitely huge. Yeah, good stuff.
Yep. All right. Well, unless you guys have anything else, I'll throw out one other question. We're a month away, roughly, from Super Bowl. Niners have clinched the 1
saw
seed.
that. Yep,
Congratulations. You know, obviously I'm a Cowboy fan, so we got to win this coming Sunday to take the 2 seed. But what are your Super Bowl predictions? Who's going to be in it, and who is going to win it?
Niners Ravens. Niners with a commanding victory of 34-17
Wow.
in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Niners, and right now the Ravens are going to be in it. But I warn all fans who play the Rams in the playoffs, watch yourselves, because I think they are
Upsetters.
extremely scary going into the playoffs. That is not a team I want the Niners to see in any playoff round.
Play this week.
I know,
play
but
this
that's not in the
weekend,
playoffs.
absolutely.
And I don't want to see
All
that.
right. G, any?
I'm rooting for the Niners as
Okay.
well. I don't know who else is gonna be in it.
All right, Niners. Mark?
I concur Niners, Ravens, but I think it's going to be a tighter game. I think it'll be a tighter game.
Well, the Ravens did just
Oh, God.
delivered a spanking on Christmas to the Niners. Well, I'll be the dissenting voice. I'm going to say Cowboys, Ravens. Because, man, come on. We cannot lose to the Niners 4 times in a row.
Well, you can and you will,
We can,
but that's okay.
and we probably will. And it'll be in Levi. But it's going to be Cowboy Ravens, and Cowboys are going to win it 38-35.
On that note, boom, boom, boom.